following is a Learfield presentation of the Washington State Sports Network.
He buries it. The Cougs have taken the lead. This place is going to pop off.
This is the Cougar Football Hour on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
We're committed to being great here.
Lofts it, intercepted, and Washington State, Shaw Smith-Wade.
I'm proud to represent Washington State. I know the people that wear their Cougs all across this country, they're proud to be a part of Washington State.
Ward has blocking to the right, sprints to the 10, angles all the way, touchdown.
Why not be here? Why not cheer on this team? Why not see this environment and make it something special?
Spins out of a tackle, has Green 20-yard line to the 15, near sideline, Watson, touchdown.
What an opportunity to show who we are as Cougs.
Tonight's show is brought to you by U.S. Bank. Life keeps moving. We're here for every step. U.S. Bank. Member FDIC. Tonight's show is also brought to you by Zappos, where the Palouse comes to play and eat. Now, live from Zappos, alongside Cougar head coach Jake Dickert, here's the voice of the Cougs, Matt Chazanow.
It is that time of the week. It is great to be here. It's Washington State taking on Oregon, Pacific Northwest rival.
That's right.
And it's the Cougs taking on the 9th-ranked Ducks, 5-1 overall. The Cougs are 4-2. Really hard game on Saturday is what it is. That was a hard one. 44-6 is the final. It felt like a ball club. You know, when teams know they're going to lose and they're getting blasted, they'll score manage.
Sure.
Right? They'll do things that are really conservative, that feel like they're smart plays. Mm-hmm. And it's to make sure that you don't lose by too much. But when you're down 30-6 late, and you still think you can win, you're going, all right, it's 3 touchdowns and 3 two-point conversions. And you're down 8, you're down 24. You go for it on 4th at your own 15-yard line. You go for it on 4th and you put yourself in tough spots, and it started to spiral on you.
Well, I think it did a little bit late, and that's what happens sometimes. When you step into the arena, every once in a while you get knocked down, and that's what happened. And we got to wipe it fast, and I think our team did this week. And in my mind, when you start working towards managing a game, we saw a team in our league come back down 30 from halftime. You saw a couple other opponents. You saw CSU come back down 20 with 4 minutes left. So there's no die in our approach of how we take those situations on. We were saying it was a 3-possession game. We got to rip it and go get it, and we'd love to find a way to get a stop just like we did early in the game. We're going to go for it on 4th and 1. Unfortunately, it doesn't happen. Defense goes out there, gets a huge stop. That creates some big momentum for the football team, but we were never able, Chaz, to just establish our identity, and that's a credit to Arizona and what they did, and I thought they played well in a game plan. But we got to just do a better job of, undisciplined mistakes. I think it's the first time since I've sat here that I came away watching the tape is that we had some undisciplined, uncharacteristic mistakes. And we got to get those cleaned up. I feel like we've identified those, and we got to get back through 6 games of what makes us a good football team. Because here is the facts. When you press pause, you look at it from a 360-degree scope, we're 4-2. We've played some phenomenal teams and some great football. And unfortunately, we played 2 games that we don't feel are our best. So that team that was 4-0, that had that supreme confidence, that was playing as one and complementary, is still in that locker room. And that was the message this week. So we had to wipe it. We had to be critical. We had to say, hey, this was an unacceptable result. Let's move forward. And now we got a great opponent that we got to attack. So that's a big thing about this Pac-12 slate. I mean, if you feel sorry for yourself, you let one opponent beat you twice, that's not where it is. It's right back to the mission, right back to the mindset, and we do believe in the process of what we do. So there's no panic. Everyone's still fighting the same opponent, and let's keep moving forward.
Yeah, there was a moment, 4th quarter, where I looked over at Brinker. We were in a break, and the score was obviously not what the Cougs wanted. And I said, boy, is this going to be Boise State 2017, which you weren't here for. But the Cougs were down 3 touchdowns in the 4th quarter, sent it to overtime, wound up winning the ball game. Yeah. It was a memorable comeback. And it was like, man, the engine just isn't turning over on this thing. But the thing about, to your point, 4-2, we've seen it. Yeah, it's not like a mythical thing that you hope. It's not just hope, right? It's like no. Right. This is, we just lived it. We just did it against the Beavers. Like it's a real thing.
And we got to get back to that. And it starts with not turning the ball over. So I think when you do that, you lose a little bit of momentum there. We feel like we get the ball, we go down and score. Here we go. Cougs are back. We're rolling. We're ahead of the chains. And we just never got that momentum back, especially on the offensive side of the ball. Cam has owned a lot of things that he can do better, and we have extreme confidence in him as the leader of our team and the guy that obviously makes a lot of decisions on game day. So getting him back comfortable in the pocket, going through his progressions, and, you get a lot of questions about the run game. Yeah, we got to establish a run. We got to be multidimensional, and good teams when they know you can only do one thing, they do what good teams do, and they really attack you. So we got to figure those things out and sure a couple things up in our fits on defense, especially late. And I think we'll get back to getting the results that we all want.
In baseball, they say hitting's contagious.
Yeah.
Right? How much is, there's 3 phases to football. There's offense, there's defense, there's special teams, and to some degree they're coached separately, right? To some degree, offense and then defense. But it feels a little bit at times in football that like frustration can be contagious to some degree, and I don't know to what degree. Is that true? Is that not true? Do defensive penalties sometimes result in offensive penalties, playing behind the stick, stuff like that?
Well, I think when you're not sometimes playing complementary football at times, it can feel that way, but I don't think our guys' minds ever, we got a job to do, and the best part, not the best part, but sometimes when you get a result like this, there's no finger pointing. It wasn't one side of the ball and it was a 3-2 game or a 58-55 game where one side was just dominating and one wasn't. So, I think we all look at it inward. And like I said, we're fighting the same opponent, right? So we're swinging in the same direction. That's the important part. There was some hard truths, and that's okay because I think that's our number one job is, confront and demand something better because we are better than that football team that we showed, and I think we're eager to prove it. But by no means do I think one side affects the other. You just got to keep swinging and stay in that moment because whatever happened before it, it doesn't matter on that next play. And that is a mentality that we've talked about a million times, and we got to respond to adversity, and that is what football games are, especially in this league. There's going to be some highs. There's going to be some lows. I just felt like our body language wasn't right going into halftime. We're still only down 2 scores. Thought we came out the right way, but we were never able to really get ourselves back to striking distance.
Well, he played 23 snaps. Lincoln Victor caught 4 balls.
Yeah.
Those were 23 could turn into 63. It felt good to have him back.
Oh, I just, and a guy that, let's be honest, he didn't practice all week, and he kind of Friday got to the point where he was like, Coach, I feel like I can contribute to the team. And we kind of put him on a pitch count of about 20 plays. I think we were a touch over it. But even when he just touched the ball inside, you could just see there's a different life. And I think Lincoln's one of those guys that just raises all ships. And I told him on Sunday, I appreciate it, because I know you weren't 100%. You went out there and did it for the right reasons, not selfish, for the team. And he gave our team everything he got, and now he's back to being healthy. And we get Cooper Mathers back this week. It's been amazing how much missing those 2 guys in the middle of our offense has been a big factor.
Oh, Lincoln was the leading receiver the first 3 games.
Yeah, in dominant fashion.
Yeah.
He really was. And not just that, an emotional leader. I think when you can only do so much sometimes from the sideline. That's what makes great leaders, which he is. But when you're in the fight with everybody, I just think there's something else that leads to greater results.
All right, we'll take a break. Come back. We've got the Oregon Ducks coming up. Big Pacific Northwest rivalry game. Cougs at a top 10 team. They're also off a loss, by the way. They lost at Seattle. We'll talk about it all. We'll preview the Cougs and the Ducks live here at Zeppo's coming your way.
If you've got the right tools and the friendly people at U.S. Bank in your corner, making smarter money choices is a piece of cake. If only our tools and helpful advisors could have helped you avoid some of those not-so-smart choices in life. Like that time you tried to pick up unicycling.
Whoa, coming through! Yeah.
Or when you thought it'd be okay to pet that squirrel in the park.
Good squirrel, good squirrel.
While we can't help you with all that, we can help you bank smartly at usbank.com/smarter together. Member FDIC.
SeatGeek's the ticketing app for fans like the sideline shot caller.
Come on, boys, pick up the pace!
SeatGeek got him a great deal on seats right near the action, so when he yells,
"What are you doing? Block him!"
he can be absolutely sure the players heard him. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Fubo is the official streaming platform of Washington State Athletics. With Fubo, you can watch every Pac-12 game, plus more college and pro sports, shows, movies, and news on over 350 live TV channels. Stream it live on your TV, phone, and other devices. No cable required. The best part? You can try Fubo free. There's no contract or commitment. To start watching, just go to FuboTV.com. That's FuboTV.com.
You're listening to Cougar Football on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Hey, Coug fans! Can't decide what to do with your late-night weekends? Why not Cosmic Bowling? Every Friday and Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. is Cosmic Bowling at Zeppo's. At a price designed with everyone in mind, we are your destination for music, disco lights, and of course, bowling. Can't join us on the weekends? Zeppo's is the place to be for all ages every day of the week. With bowling, food, and drink specials, we offer prices that won't break the budget. You can even reserve your lane in advance with online reservations at Zeppos.com. When looking for fun in Pullman, look no further than Zeppo's.
Look, I'm not going to tell you you have to have a Camus Rewards card when you come to Northern Quest. You don't. You don't have to earn points on every dollar you spend here or enjoy prize entries, dining discounts, pre-sale concert tickets, and so on. Heck, you don't even have to receive free cash money for doing what you already do here. After all, free country, right? Camus Rewards for all the ways you play.
Welcome back to the show. Time now to look ahead at this week's game with the Coors Light Opponent Preview. Coors Light, mountain cold refreshment made to chill.
Here at Zeppo's Talking Ball with Coach. It's the Cougs against the 9th-ranked Oregon Ducks coming up. Oregon's 5-1. It's that part of the show where we go into the opponent preview. They started with a thrashing of Portland State.
Yes.
An 81-7 final. And then we were flying back from, what was it? We were just playing the Badgers. That's what it was. And their Week 2 game was a really tight game in Lubbock that everyone was
Texas Tech,
was tuned into, and it took a fierce comeback, a fourth-quarter comeback. They scored 20 points late, and they scored 20-3 in the fourth quarter. They beat Texas Tech by
big plays,
by 8 points. They beat Hawaii. They hammered Colorado 42-6. It wasn't even that close.
Yeah.
It was 35-0 at the half, and then they beat up on Stanford 42-6. And most recently, if folks didn't see it, lost in Seattle on a missed field goal late that would have sent it to overtime in a back-and-forth ball game.
Yeah, it was. It was, two really good football teams, really playing their hearts out and left it all out there. Big swings either way. Fourth down goes, fourth down stops. It was one of those things. But obviously a well-coached football team. And, getting back, this is their homecoming. It's going to be a wild environment. We're going to take our team and we're going to go in there swinging. I know that. The one thing I know, I got a lot of respect for Coach Lanning, another small town. He's like a small college. I believe it's William Jewell.
Correct.
Kansas City, right? So his story is pretty cool, a little bit similar to ours, but different. And, but you could see he has a lot of talent. I think it's well documented, Oregon and what they've done throughout their history. But this isn't fluff football. This is downhill physical, own the line of scrimmage. They've tempoed it a little bit down on offense, this year, controlling possessions. And I think their defense is attacking this year way more than it ever did last season.
I love looking at Oregon's game notes and seeing you two guys are up front here. Where are you? It's Jake Dickert, Wisconsin Stevens Point, and Dan Lanning, William Jewell College.
So he's NAIA, I'm Division III.
Yeah.
They're still scholarships, so I'm still worse. I believe that, in my heart.
You're trying to go low.
Sorry to all pointers out there, but
I love it.
Yeah, it's a unique story, but the same thing. We're defensive guys kind of swinging on this deal, and it's fun to see.
Do you know him? Have you just crossed paths at media days?
Yeah, just for the media days and the spring meetings, and like I said, a very humble guy, very hard-working guy. You can see kind of his roots and his grit, and it's fun to watch.
Dan Lanning, his offensive coordinator is new this year. His old offensive coordinator is the head coach in Tempe.
Yeah.
Kenny Dillingham. Will Stein, if you go back, if you're a Big East football person, you might know him from Louisville. He was Louisville's quarterback. Actually, was Teddy Bridgewater's backup for a year. So he's not an NAIA.
He's not
D3.
big time.
Yeah, he played at Louisville.
Well, the thing with Chaz, with their offense, it's amazing. Even though it's different coordinators, it's very similar styles. Like, very similar style. And the one thing that you will probably just notice from last year to this year is, last year they had that offensive line that felt like it was there forever, right? So they do have a bunch of new pieces up there. They're big, they're physical and aggressive, and I think, obviously Bo Nix in the backfield has been really efficient, but Bucky Irving, the tailback, I think has been really their fire starter on offense a little bit, Chaz. His playmaking ability out of the backfield and making people miss, and then they're taking it downhill with Franklin, but it all starts with running the ball. So we got to be physical, sound, aggressive at the line of scrimmage and try to get them behind the chains. Because even in the drop back game, it's a little quicker and there's max protection, and we got to be able to handle the shots down the field. That's the one thing. We had them on the ropes last year. were leading in that game for 58 minutes, but we gave up, I believe, 17 explosive plays. And you can't do that against a really good football team, and we just didn't quite close the door. So our guys know that we can compete with them, and we've been here before, and now we got to go do it on their field.
It's striking. You mentioned the ground game. It's striking. They lead the nation in yards per carry as a team.
Yeah,
6.6.
This analytically is the most efficient offense in the country. I believe they're almost 5 points per possession, which is unheard of. The FBS average is about 2.8. Wow. So it just shows, now you got to take Portland State out. You put 80 on Portland State. It's like 2 games and 1 a little bit.
Got it.
But just the physical aggressiveness, and like I said, they got playmakers all across the board. So winning third down and trying to get off the field will be at a premium against a efficient offense like this.
Yeah, Troy Franklin's numbers are eye-popping. He has 8 touchdowns. He's averaging 17 yards a catch. He has 40 catches, 689 yards. He is projecting, statistically at least, to be one of their great receivers in program history. He's just a junior. In their 6 games, he has 500-yard receiving games this year. He's been the guy.
They feed him, they target him, they scheme it that way. So he's going to line up in a bunch of different places and motions, and we got to know where he is and try to find ways to eliminate him, to make him throw to somebody else. But inevitably, they do a good job of creating mismatch, and you're going to get some one-on-ones, and that's where Shaw's got to come up big this week for us.
How about defensively? What do they show you? Tosh Lupoy's in his 2nd year as their DC.
I meant what I said. I think you can tell this is the year 1 to year 2 progression of being more aggressive and confident this year with this crew. But when you look through their 2 deep, there was 42 guys on there. Like literally their whole scholarship defense is on the 2 deep. They roll probably 18 to 20 guys up front, Chaz. So they're fresh, they're attacking, they're all big monster guys that can get after the passer, that really play with power. And I think they're really athletic at linebacker. The Bassett kid, I think, is as good as there gets in the country, and I think he's still young. So there'll be a big challenge. We got to keep Cam upright. We got to be able to find ways to take the ball down the field. And, yes, we have to be able to run the football to keep them off balance. So there's some challenges, especially up front. But they attack, and we got to find ways to protect and make sure we're getting the ball to our playmakers in space. And our success with that Oregon State wasn't just bombs over the top. It was quick, efficient, and guys making plays underneath. So I think we got to get back to that, and I think that'll be a huge part of our game plan.
Earn your bragging rights at Northern Quest with more slot machines, table games, restaurants, lounges, and luxury hotel rooms than anyone else in the region. Northern Quest, yes, the best. More at northernquest.com. We'll take a break. That was our opponent preview segment. It's the Cougs and the Ducks coming up. We're live here at Zeppo's.
Saturdays are made for football. And when the game is on, we're finally off. Off duty, offline, out of office. A cracked Coors Light is our do not disturb message to the world. On game day, we don't think about the 9 to 5, but worry about the 4th and 1. So this Saturday, grab a Coors Light, press play on some pigskin, and pause on everything else. Coors Light, mountain cold refreshments, made to chill. Proud partner of Cougar Athletics. 2021 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Want to earn some extra money this winter? Spokane International Airport is hiring multiple seasonal snow removal equipment operators. These are on-call positions for the upcoming winter season from November 2023 to March 2024. You can earn up to $36 an hour. Some positions require a CDL, and previous experience in operating snow removal equipment is highly preferred. Join our team today. Learn more and apply by visiting SpokaneSnow.com.
Do you ever pay attention to overhead power lines? If you're like most people, you don't, but you should, especially when you're working up on a roof or carrying a ladder outdoors. Kids who climb trees and fly kites and adults with drones need to watch out for power lines too. And on the off chance that you find a downed power line, stay at least 10 feet away and quickly call 911 and Avista. Always pay attention to power lines. It's your best line of defense. Avista, we just want you to be safe.
This is Drew Bledsoe, and you're listening to Cougar Football.
Bledsoe calls his play, has the ball, throws a home run ball from the end zone to Bobo. Touchdown! Washington State!
On the Washington State Sports Network.
Whenever I see somebody purchasing something with their WSU card, I always like to give them a go Cougs. It brings me back to when I was in Pullman.
From the rolling hills of the Palouse to keys jingling before every kickoff, there's something special about being a Cougar. That's why BECU created the WSU credit and debit cards. It's just one more way to show pride for a place we all call home. Grab your WSU card today. BECU, power in people. Membership required. Restrictions apply. Call 800-233-2328 for details about credit costs and terms. Federally insured by NCUA. Member compensated for participation.
As a locally owned family business, tradition is the core of Chipman & Taylor Chevrolet in Pullman. We know that every family has traditions, and when it comes to automotive, we want your traditions to start with us, the family at Chipman & Taylor Chevrolet. We are a different type of dealership, and we take pride in continuing what we were taught many years ago, to be honest, never pressure, and to treat our customers like our own family. It's just that simple at Chipman & Taylor Chevrolet in Pullman.
This is the Cougar Football Hour on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
Runs into a massive Crimson, does not get the yard. It's a goal line stand.
Here's the voice of the Cougars, Matt Chazanow.
Back at it live here at Zeppo's Talking Ball with Coach Dickert. We've got ourselves the Cougs and the Ducks coming up in a Game 7 tilt in Autzen Stadium. It's right in question time. I feel like we need to get a music bed for this segment, just like a little energy,
like a little ramp up to like this is it. This is the high point of the show,
right?
When we hear from the audience and we get these questions, this is it.
That's what I wait for.
Little theme music.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll work on that. We'll talk to Luke if you've got any creative ideas. Have at it, buddy. Luke back in the studio. Coach, do you have one single role model that taught you the most about bouncing back from adversity?
That'd be a good question. I mean, my dad's been on the show. Yeah, he's been on the show.
We love Jeff.
But his more theme was just like, stop crying and get back to work. You know what I mean? It was just when we were kids, like if we were hurt on the Pop Warner field, it was like, you better get back to the huddle.
He was a rub dirt in it kind of
no
guy.
doubt.
Yeah.
And biggest thing, people ask me that question quite a bit. At the end of the day, we love what we do. We love where we're doing it, and you just bounce back and you keep going. I mean, you got knocked down, so what? Now what? That's what we look at it as, and you just got to keep moving forward.
Right in question. I want to be clear.
Yeah. Oh, this isn't your question.
This is not my question.
Okay.
Not my. Yeah, that's Jaden Hicks right there.
All right, Mr.
We're gonna have Jaden Hicks on in just a second. There's Jaden Hicks. We've got ourselves a right in question here. How do we reinvigorate the running game?
Well, I think there's a lot of detail that goes involved in that, and we've kind of detailed that over the course of really 6 weeks of how we need to be better, and it has been one thing or the other. We need to get a little back to being a little bit more downhill. Let's get Nakia's shoulders square and get moving things downhill. But it's aim points and it's willingness, and also I think we got rhythm runners. Like you got to get 20 touches. You got to get some guys that can, make sure they're playing in rhythm versus, hey, you got one carry here and then one carry there. So I think run game is a flow just like a pass game, and it's a willingness to want to get downhill and go get it.
I remember when I was a kiddo in the 90s.
Yeah.
In the NFL.
Yeah.
And you and I aren't so far apart.
I was trying to do the math there.
We can identify.
Yeah,
you can identify. I remember there were certain running backs in the league that were notorious quality fourth quarterbacks.
Okay.
Like they were guys who got better through the game, guys whose reputations, and you just mentioned rhythm runners.
Yeah.
That's less common now. There aren't as many guys getting 25, 30 touches a game consistently at least.
Yeah, and we know in our offense that we're going to use them in multiple different ways, but it's got to be I think that is something to that position. You got to feel, that, hey, I've got the hits. I'm seeing the holes, because there's only so much our scout teams can do, right? In the game, you get live bullet situations. I mean, your instincts got to be sharp and on top of it. So there is a rhythm to running the football just like there is passing and just like there is offense. So we've been working on a lot of things. We feel better about our attack this week, but I'm hoping you're thinking more – like when you think of that, don't tell me you're thinking like Emmitt Smith.
No, that wasn't the one I was thinking.
Because that was his offensive line.
Yeah, no, I was thinking of Jerome Bettis.
Okay, Jerome Bettis.
I was thinking of Jerome Bettis. He was like, I feel like you could hand him like 35 times a game. Yeah. Like the Steelers just bop, just always.
And he doesn't fit into this category, but my favorite to watch by far was Barry Sanders.
Well, for sure.
Barry by carry. I'm just telling you, because you would see like, all of a sudden, boom, 50, and then -1, and he'd have the best 0-yard rushes.
Incredible.
Chaz, you've ever seen. And I'm a Packer fan. That's well stated.
Yeah.
But he's had some nightmare games against the Packers.
Was Dorsey Levens? I think Levens was a 20-carry guy.
Yeah, we were never great at tailback.
Edgar Bennett. Yeah, Edgar Bennett.
Just some average.
Yeah.
Favre made a lot of people around him better, so we didn't have to worry about it.
Elise is a great Coug, right?
That's right.
Yeah, but I do. That was a thing. For example, teams had their running back.
Yes.
And they would stay for 10, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in Miami. When Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was in Miami, he'd get every carry for a little bit of time. Gary Brown for the Giants we can go through and name all these.
Put him in the eye back and let him rip.
Yeah, it was that, and then you had a fullback, and and the fullback had the big neck guard, the big pad, the huge shoulder.
What's a fullback, Chaz?
Right.
There's some people listening right now that have no idea what that fullback is, but the glass eater. The guy that went in there. Glass
eater.
And you had to go and you had to rip through it. So.
That's a Jed Collins. That's what that is.
That's right. Shout out to Jed.
Shout out to Jed. And the Saints are on right now on Thursday Night Football. I have this picture of Jed with the long flowing locks in his hair. Jed told me once, he goes, Chaz, my job for 8 years was to take my head and move people. That's right. That's what I did for 8 years.
I don't think they teach it that way, or legally can say that anymore. But you better get screw to screw with your helmet. And you better get rolling on people.
He tried to get in the sternum, and that's what he told me, because then you get leverage.
That's right.
And he was good at it.
You can make a career out of it. And that's proved that. That's right.
That's William.
They're kind of like kickers. Once you have one as a fullback, you just kind of keep one.
Max Strong, who lives in the area, right? Is one of the all-time greats. The color analyst, the analyst for Florida State is Will Floyd, bar none Will Floyd.
That's right.
Long-time 49er. I go on. Now we're in my wheelhouse.
Your knowledge is good.
We're in my wheelhouse now. Now we can do this. All right. What was the biggest factor? Right in question. What was a bigger factor in Saturday's loss? What's harder? And I'll extrapolate this, not just in Saturday's loss. Yeah. Is it physical or mental? When you're down, you're in a bad spot. It's 20-6. It's 30-6.
Yeah.
Is it physical or mental? What's the hardest part?
Well, I think anytime you get to that point, I think it's mainly mental. I mean, we work a lot on it, and dealing with adversities and coming back and making sure, hey, it is next play. And whether it's a bad play, good play, you got to wipe it. You got to press pause, gain clarity, and let's keep moving. So I think a lot of it is a mental challenge as you go throughout the course of the game, is to stay in the moment. That's the only thing that matters right now. So it isn't the worries of the future or the whatever went good or bad in the past. It's right now in this moment, what do I need to do to be my best on this next play? And sometimes when the score is going sideways, it's hard to drift, and you just got to keep, kind of, you don't need an elephant, one bite. You got to do it one bite at a time, a little bit, and you just got to stay focused on what really matters and controlling what you can in that moment.
I think that's a better worded version of the question I asked you off the top of is it contagious? I think that's a better way to put it. Like the whole team collectively feels pressure, I guess, in the same time.
Yeah, and I think you got to remember 125 guys on a team, everyone reacts to it differently, right? We always talk about making sure our arrow is pointed in the same direction. And when we're all doing that, we can weather any storm together. So there's a connection to the team in that moment, too, that, you got to make sure you're staying connected and just focus on doing your job one play at a time.
This is not a question. This is a comment. This is we support you. Go Cougs.
Go Cougs.
Love that.
I appreciate that.
There you go.
I appreciate that.
Coach, even when the Cougs have had a hard loss, we still love our team and believe they will adjust and improve. In fact, we believe so strongly in the Coug future that we have a natty fund, and we put $25 in there occasionally, saving up for a big trip one day.
That's right.
What fun trip, boat, car, what fun thing, boat, car, or trip have you ever saved up for or are saving up for now?
Oh, that's great. That's great. I will say this. I don't know if many people know this. I've never been outside the country, really.
Ever?
No.
Really?
So,
you were right near Canada.
It was like a Florida vacation, and that was kind of like our thing, and that was like a big deal to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. I know Candace is in the back. I think she's definitely going to make me take her on a European cruise or trip at one of these days. I think a all-inclusive kind of Caribbean vacation is kind of in the works. Not through me, but through her. And I literally just got my passport 5 months ago.
Is that right?
We're stamped and we're ready to travel, and we'll definitely get there. But I'm pretty adaptable. I can navigate a lot of different situations, but I'm a big right now with what we do. Wherever we're going, it can't be work. Let's just relax. You know what I mean? It's not sightseeing quite yet. There's times for that.
Sure.
But right now we're in relaxed vacation mode.
That's a good idea. Yeah. That sounds great. Yeah, you got to get some stamps in that passport.
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
Sure.
I do.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Coach, we've learned at the radio show that you haven't seen Star Wars or Ted Lasso. Homework.
I know.
For sure, Lasso, by the way.
Yes.
You love it.
Yes.
You love it. But surely you've seen some great sports movies. Maybe Remember the Titans or Hoosiers or Field of Dreams. Do you have a favorite movie, coach, or quote, or anything like that?
Ooh, sports movies.
Yeah.
I don't watch a lot of movies. I'm going to preface it with that. But and I'm not copping out because this was on there, but Remember the Titans is kind of right in my wheelhouse. Yeah. It's just kind of one of those movies when I saw it, you got the goosebumps. You can put yourself in those seats. It was emotional. It was a high. It was a roller coaster. It was a push through. I mean, it was just kind of Denzel to me is the greatest actor of all time. I just think there's a lot of things out there that it just really kind of boils down to. It was awesome.
I love that movie.
Yeah,
I could watch. That's one of those, if I'm flipping, which I don't do anymore with a kiddo, but when I did flip around, if that one was on, that's the stop. That's
my wife's like, every once in a while, I was like, how are you watching this again? Like, I can knock out movies and just replay them in my mind. Like, Step Brother comes on and it's like, here we go. I've seen that a million times.
That's a good one.
Let's keep going.
I've now watched only the first half of Cars 50 million times because my little guy.
You know what is the worst is when you have we're in Wyoming, we take the van back to Wisconsin.
Oh, right.
And you can only hear the movies that are playing on like the DVD players in the van, right? I love vans. We're driving vans.
Yeah.
Right? So I heard like some of these Disney movies a million times and could repeat the words, but I've never actually seen the screens, right?
That's great.
So that's what's coming. I don't know if you're a van guy, but that's what's coming down the line.
We've got the Tahoe, and it's as big as a van. We've got stuff that we throw in that love it, but
not as great on the gas mileage. That's why I'm a big van guy.
Maybe a van's a good way to go. Yeah. I'm not opposed to a van. Love a van. Who decides what colors you wear each game day? Now we got the jersey and then the colors, which is kind of the same question. We get this question every week or so. We're getting to get to the bottom of it. Is what we need.
We do. I should actually do some research on this, but I do think it's our equipment guys, and they have a big input with our creative staff. And are we on grass? Are we not? I mean, we have actually a decent amount of grass games, and out of respect for our equipment guys, they don't like the white pants on grass turf. It just, the bleach to try to get that out, it kind of wears them out. So we'll always be, little secret, will be dark pants when we're in grass.
I'll tell you what, there is a whole world, a whole art to what they do behind the scenes.
Oh, there's a tons of different things, and this is just one of the few things that they do that's just incredible.
Hey, the broadcast is brought to you in part by Frost Brewed Coors Light, made to chill. Visit your local retailer. Look for the Coors Light Coug display QR code for your chance to win a pair of tickets to see the Cougs tackle the Dogs on November 25th. Promo ends October 30th, so you have like 11 more days.
Out.
Yeah. Open to residents in Alaska, Idaho, Oregon, and Washington. Must be 21 or older. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. I am very excited next couple of segments, to talk to one of the harder hitters in the pack. He's a safety for the Cougs. Jaden Hicks is here. And
yes, he's just been incredible. This is going to be fun to watch.
I can't wait. I can't wait to talk to him. Let's do it. Anything I should ask him? Is there anything that he's got a big smile on right now?
Look at him. He's nervous already. I can see that. Look at that. He's nervous, everybody.
Yeah, a little bit. Just a touch. No need. It's not too hot of a seat.
No, it's not. It's not. He's going to make me look bad. I just know one of these things that he's just – obviously his character, his conviction, and just how he plays. I think you see a player that's that aggressive on the field, and you're like, oh, man, but he's just the nicest dude off it, cares about his teammates, great leader. It's fun to be a part of.
We'll have to verify. We'll have to
put him in the hot seat, and we'll see who he really is. He's bright lights up here now.
We'll do it. Take a break. Come back live with Jaden Hicks next.
If you've got the right tools and the friendly people at U.S. Bank in your corner, making smarter money choices is a piece of cake. If only our tools and helpful advisors could have helped you avoid some of those not-so-smart choices in life. Like that time you tried to pick up unicycling.
Whoa, coming through! Yeah.
Or when you thought it'd be okay to pet that squirrel in the park.
Good squirrel.
While we can't help you with all that, we can help you bank smartly at usbank.com/smarter together. Member FDIC.
If Pac-12 football runs deep in your veins, then Sirius XM Pac-12 Radio is what you need to listen to. We're talking conference and team previews, plus hear live games, news, and analysis from experts like Jeff Schwartz, Yogi Roth, and Evan Moore. Go in-depth with your favorite team with coaches shows, championship specials, and more. Get inside Pac-12 football like nowhere else. Feed your fandom on the Sirius XM app. Stay up to date anywhere you go. Just download the app and start streaming.
Whoever said good things come to those who wait clearly never ordered in the McDonald's app. Just order ahead in the app, and you can pick up when you get here. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Cougars fans, now you can win all season. On game day, get a 20-piece chicken McNuggets and 2 medium fries for just $10.99 when you order ahead on the app. Valid once per day through December 1st, 2023. At participating McDonald's, must opt into rewards.
This is former Coug, Eric Coleman.
Picked off, intercepted, touchdown coming into the end zone, Eric Coleman.
And you're listening to Cougar Football. Go Cougs.
Hey, Hey, Coug fans! Can't decide what to do with your late-night weekends? Why not Cosmic Bowling? Every Friday and Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. is Cosmic Bowling at Zeppo's. At a price designed with everyone in mind, we are your destination for music, disco lights, and of course, bowling. Can't join us on the weekends? Zeppo's is the place to be for all ages every day of the week. With bowling, food, and drink specials, we offer prices that won't break the budget. You can even reserve your lane in advance with online reservations at Zeppos.com. When looking for fun in Pullman, look no further than Zeppo's.
Carbon monoxide detectors save lives because if kerosene, propane, natural gas, or wood isn't burned properly, dangerous carbon monoxide may result, and it can build up indoors without you knowing, as it's invisible and odorless. So protect yourself by installing UHL-approved carbon monoxide detectors. If carbon monoxide is present, the detector will alert everyone to get out of the house, where you can safely call 911 for help. Avista, we just want you to be safe.
This is the Cougar Football Hour.
Somersaults in. Football first touchdown.
U.S. Bank. Life keeps moving. We're here for every step. U.S. Bank. Member FDIC. Here's Matt Chazanow.
Back at it live here. We're talking ball and really pleased to be joined by Jaden Hicks. Jaden, it might be the first time we've had you on the hot seat here, I think, buddy.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, thanks for letting us put you to work. It's good to talk to you. You were freshman All-American last year. You are from Las Vegas, Nevada. You had a redshirt year before that. So take me through kind of your journey, redshirt year into 76 tackles, second leading tackler on the team last year. You know, it's you and Dan Henley, right, leading the Cougs in tackles last year. Redshirt year into 10 starts last year, and now here you are as an established Pac player, an established Coug. But what was it like as a redshirt and then moving now into your prominent role here as a Washington State Cougar?
Right. So high school, I played cornerback.
Cornerback.
Corner,
okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And we made the transition to play safety. And so that was a big change for me, just knowing the gap alignments, what I'm doing when I see pulls, everything about that. So I was learning under a really well-known player, Daniel Isom. He was really good. I played under him. I got all of his knowledge. And so that year I was just doing everything he was doing, trying to look up because he was playing good. And then didn't play much, only got in one game. So after I redshirted that year, going in, we got a transfer from Nevada, Jordan Lee. And just playing behind him, he had a lot of knowledge as well. And I think I got more, tools and from his defensive coordinator with Brian Ward, just literally learning under him. And then obviously he went down. I was the next man up, and I was ready. So
how much is it about, Jordan Malone is your safeties coach. You mentioned Brian Ward, who was your coach, and now, but you're mentioning Isom and you're mentioning Lee initially. How much do players coach players?
I think Jordan Lee was he did that to an excel level. So he knew that, the best man is going to come in, play, and if he was hurt, he was going to come teach me up, do whatever he needed to do. And I think he was a pretty good player's coach.
He was also pretty darn good player, too.
Yeah,
he got a little bit banged up, but when he did play, he could really go.
Yeah.
He was a really, really good hitter. How much at this level is it physical versus mental?
Physical, I think it's more of a mental game just because, what you're reading, especially at a strong safety, you're in the box, you're a deep half, man. I think a lot of it is mental, but physical part is, for a guy like me, I'm on the bigger side, so not much to it. Just be aggressive.
So is your dream scenario what happened against Wisconsin with that big hit? Is that the goal? Is that – because and I think fans here remember the hit that I'm talking about. That was the hardest hit that I've seen, the hardest legal hit that I've seen since they changed the targeting rule.
Wow.
It was the hardest non-flagged hit that I had seen in person or on video. It was totally clean. He decleated the guy. It was, it was what football really is about.
Yeah, safeties live for that moment right there, just waiting for the quarterback to throw it, and you just go hit him.
So. It's just slow motion?
Yeah,
was it slow motion?
Yeah, it was slow motion. I'm like, okay, this is happening. Boom.
Weird question. In that moment, did you feel it?
I actually didn't feel it. So, I mean, that was what I was happy for. Just felt good. It felt good more than bad.
I've heard that, though, that, like, in the moment, in big collisions like that sometimes even the guys who receive the hit, like somehow because of the speed and maybe the earnest effort, and you're not really thinking, you're reacting, you don't really feel much is what I've been told. I wouldn't know, so that's why I'm asking.
Right. I think that would be true.
Why? What is that?
Maybe just adrenaline.
Yeah.
You about to get a play, about to make the play, so you got all the adrenaline rushing.
Is that the preference as opposed to – you played corner. You have that perspective, right? So corner, which is now regarded in the NFL as like the hardest thing to do, right? It's just impossible. It's just a lose-lose. You're successful 50 out of 60 times, and 5 times you get a flag and it's a mess, right? It's just this horrible thing. So it's really, really hard to do. In a lot of ways, frustrating, I would imagine. Was it harder to play corner at safety? And then what do you like to do more?
I would say I like safety more just because you're in the action more. Corner, you're on the island. You might get a ball every now and then, might not. So safety, you're always in the action. I like playing that more. And definitely corner is harder just because you don't know what's coming, really. Your back is turned from the quarterback most of the time, and you're in man technique, and yeah.
So how much respect do you have for what Shaw and Cam are doing this year?
I have a lot of respect for those guys, especially, the plays that they're making. I know how that feels, and I know how hard that position is to play. So I got a lot of respect for those guys.
Super high level, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what Shaw and Cam are doing. I mean, Cam leads the pack in passes broken up.
Really?
He's number one in the pack. He has 8 pass breakups at the corner position. That's number 1 in the league.
Okay.
And so we're talking like really, really high level stuff, right? I mean, it looks that way, right? I would imagine it feels that way.
No, he's been playing really good.
Yeah.
Lucky to have him.
How about that when Gusigan picked it off in the Rose Bowl? Where were you? What do you remember from that play?
Oh, I was so tired. And when he picked it and just started running, I was like, oh, let's go. And then I was like, oh, no, I got to celebrate with my guy. So
you made the run.
Yeah, and I was so tired running down.
How hot was it on the field? What did it feel like?
It felt like 110 degrees.
Did it really?
Yeah, it felt like Vegas.
Yeah. I want to ask you about that. I think let's do this. Let's take a break, right? We'll come back. I want to ask you about Vegas. You grew up in Vegas. We're live here with Jaden Hicks talking ball. We're up against a break. We'll take it. It's the Cougs taking on the Oregon Ducks. We'll put you to work here for one more segment. Live here at Zeppo's next.
Yes, sir.
Saturdays are made for football. And when the game is on, we're finally off. Off duty, offline, out of office. A cracked Coors Light is our do not disturb message to the world. On game day, we don't think about the 9 to 5, but worry about the 4th and 1. So this Saturday, grab a Coors Light, press play on some pigskin, and pause on everything else. Coors Light, mountain cold refreshments, made to chill. Proud partner of Cougar Athletics. 2021 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
SeatGeek's the ticketing app for fans like the sideline shot caller.
Come on, boys, pick up the pace!
SeatGeek got him a great deal on seats right near the action, so when he yells,
"What are you doing? Block him!"
he can be absolutely sure the players heard him. SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Whenever I see somebody purchasing something with their WSU card, I always like to give them a go Cougs. It brings me back to when I was in Pullman.
From the rolling hills of the Palouse to keys jingling before every kickoff, there's something special about being a Cougar. That's why BECU created the WSU credit and debit cards. It's just one more way to show pride for a place we all call home. Grab your WSU card today. BECU, power in people. Membership required. Restrictions apply. Call 800-233-2328 for details about credit costs and terms. Federally insured by NCUA. Member compensated for participation.
Cougar football.
Rolling right with the ball, going to throw the long ball down the middle, man open.
Watch the end zone, leaping grab, touchdown, and the Palouse is going to pop.
Cougar football from Learfield.
Today's Nutrition Report is brought to you by Wilbur Ellis. Through intense workouts, our athletes' bodies demand more from their nutrition to reach their optimal performance. Just like athletes, crops also demand more from their nutrition, and Wilbur Ellis knows that. That's why the technology in their N-Demand 30L fertilizer promotes moisture retention for a safer, more efficient source of foliar nutrition. Nitrogen is the most yield-limiting nutrient, and when plant roots can't keep up, N-Demand 30L delivers nutrients plants crave at critical times in season. Visit WilburEllisAgribusiness.com today.
Fubo is the official streaming platform of Washington State Athletics. With Fubo, you can watch every Pac-12 game, plus more college and pro sports, shows, movies, and news on over 350 live TV channels. Stream it live on your TV, phone, and other devices. No cable required. The best part? You can try Fubo free. There's no contract or commitment. To start watching, just go to FuboTV.com. That's FuboTV.com.
This is the Cougar Football Hour on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
Runs into a massive Crimson, does not get the yard. It's a goal line stand.
Here's the voice of the Cougars, Matt Chazanow.
Back at it live here talking ball. We've got Jaden Hicks, the safety freshman All-American last year for the Cougs. This year, 39 tackles by this count, and the third leading tackler on the team, a productive Coug once again, to say the least. Washington State University would like to thank Crimson and Gray for their continued support of Coug athletics. Head to bookstore.com to get the latest in Coug apparel. That's BKSTR.com. Your brother, Kalen, from 16 to 19, played at Hawaii, a DB at Hawaii. What was it like growing up, looking up to your brother, playing big-time D1 football on the islands? What was it like to be such a football family?
Yeah, growing up, my dad was a coach, his football coach. And I was too young to play tackle football at the time, but I would always be on the sidelines, watching my brother. And one of the days I was like, Dad, I want to go in. So the next year after I was still young, but he let me go practice with them. I wasn't hitting nobody or anything, but it was a good time. And I just followed his footsteps from there on out. He went to Bishop Gorman, had a pretty good years, though, the years he went there. They won a national championship when he was there. So he had a pretty successful high school career. His senior year, he tore his ACL, in the first scrimmage before the game. Didn't get much offers, or he wasn't getting looked at, really. Hawaii gave him the opportunity to walk on, so he was a walk-on there. He earned his scholarship after his third year. And, he's been a really good role model for myself and for my family. He's someone I really look up to just because, the battles and the adversity he's faced. And that always kept me strong. So,
what was absolutely. Yeah, I appreciate you sharing. What was the Bishop Gorman experience like? And, it's one of those programs like you hear about, you said they won a national championship. It's one of the high school programs. There's kind of an aura. There's sort of a mythology around Bishop Gorman. If you play at Bishop Gorman, you might be a freshman All-American at Washington State University. Like that's a big, what's that like? And what can you share?
Yeah, it's a college prep school. So everything they do, they take football super serious. But obviously school is first. If you don't have your school down, they won't let you practice or any of that. So staying on top of your work, staying on top of your priorities was a big challenge. And but just the football there, we were practicing like it's college, and it's been really fun to play there. I've had the best time of my life there. But it was all taught me some.
I love it.
Yeah, some life lessons.
I love it. And I know Coach is excited for you to call Bishop Gorman back, get all those Cougs up here from Las Vegas. He's smiling right now. He's going, yeah, sure. That's great. Oh, thank you, buddy.
I'll get him here.
Do it.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Jaden Hicks. That's awesome. Thank you, Jaden. Thanks for sharing, buddy. We'll be back here live next with Coach Dickert.
Winning a new Yukon Denali at Northern Quest is easy. Sending your other car to live on a farm upstate? Well, you'll get over it. Don't miss the $116,000 Yukon Rush giveaway with the grand prize drawing on September 29th at Northern Quest. Play daily with your Camus Rewards card to enter, and you could be driving home in a brand new GMC Yukon Denali at the end of the month. Details at northernquest.com.
Hey, Coug fans! Can't decide what to do with your late-night weekends? Why not Cosmic Bowling? Every Friday and Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. is Cosmic Bowling at Zeppo's. At a price designed with everyone in mind, we are your destination for music, disco lights, and of course, bowling. Can't join us on the weekends? Zeppo's is the place to be for all ages every day of the week. With bowling, food, and drink specials, we offer prices that won't break the budget. You can even reserve your lane in advance with online reservations at Zeppos.com. When looking for fun in Pullman, look no further than Zeppo's.
Cougar football lives here.
Got the middle touchdown! 1 second left. Cougars on top.
On the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
There is a local ranch just outside of Boise, Idaho, that has masterfully bred Japanese Wagyu cattle with American Angus cattle. Now this American-style Wagyu beef is available to you and your family. Rosars presents Snake River American-style Wagyu beef. Snake River Farms beef is famously found in many exclusive five-star steak restaurants. Snake River Farms, available at your local neighborhood Rosars.
This Cougar football tailgating moment is brought to you by Canoe Ridge Vineyards, proud partner of Washington State University Athletics. For this week's football matchup against Oregon, smart Cougar tailgaters know to pair award-winning Canoe Ridge wines with a crowd-pleasing pregame meal. Your mealtime roster will score big points with Canoe Ridge wines backing it up. Canoe Ridge Vineyards, representing the best of award-winning Washington wines with more than 85 critical scores of 90-plus points. Visit them at their Walla Walla tasting room or at canoeridgevineyard.com. Go Cougs!
This is the Cougar Football Hour.
Somersaults in. Football first touchdown.
U.S. Bank. Life keeps moving. We're here for every step. U.S. Bank. Member FDIC. Here's Matt Chazanow.
Back at it live here talking ball with Coach. Great to have Jaden Hicks on.
Oh, he's unbelievable.
He's great.
And it's a fun story because Jaden, when we recruited him, was during that COVID season.
That's right.
Like, it was all trust, and that's what I love about Jaden. He never set foot on campus, you know, and he didn't even get a chance to play his senior year of high school. So there was trust on both sides of it, and I was just telling Chaz on the break, when he walked in that first day of the summer when I saw him, I was like, yeah, we got it.
Big.
Oh,
he's
we
big.
got it. And then his dad came burling down the hall. It was awesome.
Hey, this is a comment. I love the fact that after a loss, Coach never throws his players under the bus. That's a right in here.
Well,
Second that. Absolutely.
Well, I think the biggest thing, you know, however you look at this, when you're at the top and you're leading a group of people, like, you got to take ownership on yourself. So we always look within first before we kind of find ways to get better, and it starts with me, and we'll continue to have it that way.
We'll take our final break. We'll put a ball on it next. We got a ton of questions on the Twitter device, so we got to get. We don't have time for them all. We'll try to get to them next.
There.
Live here at Zeppos.
Saturdays are made for football. And when the game is on, we're finally off. Off duty, offline, out of office. A cracked Coors Light is our do not disturb message to the world. On game day, we don't think about the 9 to 5, but worry about the 4th and 1. So this Saturday, grab a Coors Light, press play on some pigskin, and pause on everything else. Coors Light, mountain cold refreshments, made to chill. Proud partner of Cougar Athletics. 2021 Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
Do you ever pay attention to overhead power lines? If you're like most people, you don't, but you should. Especially when you're working up on a roof or carrying a ladder outdoors. Kids who climb trees and fly kites and adults with drones need to watch out for power lines too. And on the off chance that you find a downed power line, stay at least 10 feet away and quickly call 911 and Avista. Always pay attention to power lines. It's your best line of defense. Avista, we just want you to be safe.
Running a business is a lot of work. Luckily, I've got a great partner.
Oh, I thank you.
I meant U.S. Bank.
I knew that.
U.S. Bank Business Essentials is a huge help to us.
Totally. Their comprehensive point-of-sale system does it all. Tracks inventory, manages schedules, customizes orders.
Plus all the regular banking stuff.
If only it could make coffee.
Nah, that's your job.
From point of sale to quick loans, we have many ways to make your business boom. That's what U.S. Bank is for. U.S. Bank. We'll get there together. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
The passion.
He's going to take it to the house. Dinner's cooking. Touchdown.
The fury.
Getting blitz. Down he goes.
The speed.
By 40, there he goes. Down the sideline.
Best in college football.
Toward the end zone. Got it for 6 points.
You cannot hitch the wagon. Put the ponies in the barn. Back in the end zone. 30, 20. Say goodnight to this one.
This is the College Football Blitz. Listen all season long on College Sports Now on the Varsity Network. You're listening to Cougar Football on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield.
Hey, Coug fans! Can't decide what to do with your late-night weekends? Why not Cosmic Bowling? Every Friday and Saturday night from 9 p.m. to 2 a.m. is Cosmic Bowling at Zeppos. At a price designed with everyone in mind, we are your destination for music, disco lights, and of course, bowling. Can't join us on the weekends? Zeppos is the place to be for all ages every day of the week. With bowling, food, and drink specials, we offer prices that won't break the budget. You can even reserve your lane in advance with online reservations at Zeppos.com. When looking for fun in Pullman, look no further than Zeppos.
Want to earn some extra money this winter? Spokane International Airport is hiring multiple seasonal snow removal equipment operators. These are on-call positions for the upcoming winter season from November 2023 to March 2024. You can earn up to $36 an hour. Some positions require a CDL, and previous experience in operating snow removal equipment is highly preferred. Join our team today. Learn more and apply by visiting SpokaneSnow.com.
Back here live, we're at Zeppo's. We're talking ball with Coach Dickert. We are loaded up with questions. Coach Luke got right on it. He's got a little bit of music for you here. This is on the fly here, so you grade him out.
Is there okay?
Apparently, what do you think? Should we roll with this? You like
That's
it?
a little like mysterious, like
a little bit something.
Okay.
Something.
Do we have another option?
Well, let's. I don't know, Luke. Let's turn this off for now, and then you let us know, buddy. Okay.
We might have to have like fans send in like what
music should we air under your question? Almost like walk-up music.
Yeah, I like that.
It's not a bad
when
idea.
we get to our opponent preview, this is the music we're hitting, or this is the question. That's what we're hitting.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. It's a question segment. Chris Nash. Chris, by the way, Zeppo's does the best job.
Absolutely.
And
we love being here.
We love it. And Chris wants to know. Wants to know about the running game. Running game. The engine hasn't turned over and at least as much last year, right? Nakia was really rocking and rolling last year. He was great to have him on the show here. I know he wants to have some more running lanes and more room to run and whatnot. He said, "Are there any changes coming to the running game?"
Well, I think there is some, and I think it's more getting, like I said early in the show, downhill zone.
Right.
We've been doing a lot of the counter stuff, and we've been kind of, not creating lanes and some of that different deal, and just being more consistent with it. And the guy that has come in and I think earned maybe a couple extra carries is a Dylan Payne. He's down there, he's playing downhill and aggressive, and every time he's in there, he's been our most positive runner. So let's make sure we're doing that and creating different opportunities, and those guys will keep competing. And I know this, our offensive line takes pride in it, and it hasn't been good enough yet, but we're working for a breakthrough.
Jennifer Delzer asks you, what was your first dig deep experience of your coaching career that helped shape how you handle adversity? P.S. Go Cougs. I was in the stands in Eugene 20 years ago when a Coug team that wasn't supposed to do that well against a high-level Duck team won. She is referencing a 55-16 win over a top 10 Duck team in Autzen. Wow. That happened 20 years ago in 2003.
That's fantastic.
Yep, Matt Kegel threw 3 touchdowns in that ball game. Really,
shout out to Matt.
Matt Kegel threw 3 touchies in that one, and the Cougs rolled them in 2003.
Yeah, so I'm trying to think of more like positive big moments. I remember we took South Dakota State into North Dakota State and won at the last second on a big play down the sideline, and things went crazy. More going into the eye of the storm and winning. I think those are the type of vibes we want to have right now of what we can do and bonding together and going out there and finding a way to get a big dub. We came down one time. When you're down Air Force in 14 points, you really feel like you're down 30 because of how they control the ball.
Cougs know that feeling from a ball game.
So we came back down 14 in under 5 minutes in the fourth quarter to Air Force in a snowy game.
Did you get the ball down?
Oh, man.
How'd you do it?
It was, we finally broke through and scored. We got a 3 and out. Then we scored again. Then they went 2 minute, which is out of their realm. We got an interception. Logan Wilson actually to finish this thing. And I was doing like snow angels on the field because if you want a stressful week, it's playing Air Force. And to come back like that and beat them at that game was just a whole different deal. So, Jennifer, I'm feeling those positive vibes of going in there and finding a way to get a win.
That Air Force ride is a hard ride to get on. Credit to them. It's a different deal.
It's a ride nobody wants to get on.
I don't want to take it for this one.
Talk about old school football, the option stuff. Credit to them and those guys running it, but I would love for it to go away.
Yeah, it's a hard deal. One of my favorite trivia nuggets is Ma'ake's brother was the first 300-pounder in Air Force history.
They changed the rules
for him,
and that's a true story. What year was that?
It was the Cheez-It Bowl year for us, which was 2019.
It actually changed around their whole program because I was at Wyoming and we played them every year. And talk about, they had another great game this past weekend, but there's no love lost. And it is physical and aggressive. But when they changed the rules that they could have big guys, it changed their program too.
I love it. Thank you, Coach.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much. Appreciate you.
Yeah, I can't wait to see everybody at Autzen Stadium. It's going to be a great one.
Absolutely. Jared Prank-Goober, our man behind the camera. Jerry Kylo always gets us on the air. Luke Hallett back in studio. He's mixing the ones and twos also.
Right.
We'll get him.
We're going to have a whole series of stuff next week.
I love it. Go Cougs. Thank you, everybody.
Go Cougs. Thank you, guys.
You've been listening to the Cougar Football Hour on the Washington State Sports Network from Learfield. Tonight's show has been brought to you by U.S. Bank. Life keeps moving. We're here for every step. U.S. Bank. Member FDIC. Tonight's show is also brought to you by Zappos, the home for the Cougar Coaches Show, where the Palouse comes to play and eat. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation of the Washington State Sports Network.